Tonight, we're walking straight into the weird, man. Not speculation, just hard footage, okay? Broken timelines and government contradictions that just don't add up. If this is what case closed looks like, then explain the Birkenstock sandals, the badge, the bricks, and the missing grave, and you probably don't know what I'm talking about, so let's get into it. Number one, big question. It's on everybody's mind. We still don't know where Charlie Kirk is buried. No public record. No cemetery announcement. Right? No cemetery has been named. Find a grave also lists the grave site as unknown. And that's not gossip. It's not clickbait. That is verifiable. Hanson Mortuary handled the arrangements in Phoenix, but every article says only laid to rest in the valley. Now, normally when a national figure passes, there's a grave site, a public service, something for followers to go visit. Here, silence. Even Find a Grave, the site that tracks nearly every burial in the country, listed as unknown. That's our baseline. That's where the story starts, with missing ground truth, right? Now, I'm going to roll the footage, okay? Let me find it. This is where things get scary. This footage popped up the other day, man. You're going to see a man in jeans t-shirt and Birkenstocks flashing what looks like to be a police badge here, okay? I'm going to cut the volume down because it starts playing music over it, right? Now let me pause it. There's Phil Lyman's assistant right there in the red shirt. You see her. She's the one, yep, right there with Phil Lyman. Okay. That's the one that was doing the interview the other day. Okay. Now you see this badge appearing. Look, boom. This badge appearing. No uniform, no radio, no vest, just a badge. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep watching. He's holding the badge out like a shield. Now, we don't know what the badge is. All it says is police that I can tell. He's wearing Birkenstocks, jeans, and a t-shirt. He's appearing right after the shooting. And then the red shirt guy says, you see him? He leans in. Who the F is that guy? Let me back that clip up. I want you to hear this guy because it's disturbing how he talks to Phil Lyman. Like this seems like somebody who was like scared they're going to get caught.
Did you guys see him? I did not see him, no.
What is that guy?
See how he kind of leans in and says, who the F is that guy? And honestly, that is the question everybody should be asking. Who is he? So there you see a good shot of the badge here. Phil Lyman's expression on his face looking at that badge looks very eerie. This dude's got a beard, flat bill, Birkenstocks t-shirt, and rolls right in on the scene. At which point, dude says, leans in and says, hey, who the F is that guy? Birkenstocks, tee, jeans. Just mere moments after the assassination. Let's go back. You see him? Nike shirt. Who wears Nike? Only leftists do. But how he leans in and asks him. See that? The guy's composure here. That's like when you lean in and whisper like you're about to get caught for something. Look, he's not even looking at him. He don't even want to hear anybody hear him ask that question. Very, very odd to say the least, right? But it is the question everybody should be asking. Who is he? Is he a cop? Where's his agency patch? If he's security, why the police badge? Why are there undercover officers in flip-flops after a national assassination? Why the badge? The badge is on a flat wallet badge, right? It could be a city, county, or even a private issue. It does say police on it, so I don't think it's a private like security or anything. But no clear ID. You know, there's no one has listed him in chain of command on any report. So either the man's an officer violating procedure, or he's an actor in a badge that he shouldn't possess. Either way, the public deserves the answer. Also odd how the man again goes up to Phil Lyman and nervous, saying, "Who the F is that?" What are you nervous about, bro? Now, something that we've touched on quite a bit is that days after the shooting, crews are filmed digging up the site. Grass torn out, bricks installed, concrete installed, and bricks installed. Okay. And before I go any further, let me say we're going to get back to Phil Lyman. Okay. It's another very odd thing here. Okay. But going back to this, the official explanation is campus maintenance right after where the body fell, before the ballistic reconstruction was ever released. Was there ballistic reconstruction even done? Highly doubt it, man. They just took that patsy and said, you know what, he did it. He did it. And moved on. Right? Right. And in any other homicide, man, the first rule is to preserve the scene. Here, the ground was literally erased. You don't rebuild before you document unless the goal is to reset the optics. Now, the owner of the company who did that made a video saying he's been attacked. Now, the thing is, let me say this. A lot of people are saying, you destroyed the crime scene. It's not his responsibility. He was hired to do a job. That was it. It's the police responsibility. Shit, Kash Patel was on the scene. Right? So he says, in between designing that Cringe Challenge coin. But they never secured the scene because the following day, man, everybody with a phone and Instagram account was out there filming. Right? Now, here's the guy's video that he posted. I'm not sure why I posted the video, but I thought it was notable, to say the least.
Hey, I just want to share a quick post here. I got a call about a week and a half ago from a couple of maintenance guys from the state of Utah that had been asked to replace, to beautify an area where a brother had been gunned down. It was Sunday. I usually don't work on Sunday, but I needed to be useful. And so I showed up with a couple of my brother, with a couple of other brothers that we all have differing beliefs and differing viewpoints.
I don't think these are his real brothers. I think he's just calling these people brothers.
And together we were useful. It was heavy to work where a brother was gunned down, but we did it. And I've wanted to make a post. I haven't wanted to be controversial. America is founded on people with different beliefs working together. And that's exactly what we did that Sunday and that Monday. And I'm getting some hate online for it. I'm getting some fake reviews. And, the answer to hate is love. And the answer to...
Yeah. One thing I will say about this guy is he's a lot more emotional than Erica Kirk in public appearances. We'll touch on that in a moment. But everybody grieves differently, they say. Maybe just taking a little bit to heart. Anyway, yeah, this is the guy that apparently runs the company that does it. He's getting a lot of hate online. I don't know why. It's not this guy's fault that the freaking law enforcement didn't secure the scene, and why they would literally within 3 days have a crew out there working doesn't make sense. Now let's move on a bit. We got some ties here, man. I've been holding off on sharing this. Been holding off on sharing this to the right time. But the clip of George Zinn that was going around, the man that was standing in the crowd claiming he was the shooter. Don't even know why he was at UVU campus that day. Very weird. Very weird this man was at UVU. And the first video I made, I said this dude was a decoy to give the real hitman an easy escape to tie up law enforcement. Okay. Now, a week later, George Zinn gets hit with CSAM, gets arrested. Classic move. Stephen Paddock's brother got hit with the same. Maybe a tactic to shut him up because he was like, my brother didn't do this. There's no way possible, right? Now, I want you to pause, though, and look at this. It's going to blow your mind. Phil Lyman for governor. Okay. His own campaign website. If you go under endorsements, you're going to find somebody's name there within an endorsement. It says, rare to find a more caring man with uncompromising goals to make Utah great for generations than Phil Lyman. He needs our support. George Zinn. George Zinn. This is from his website. Go to his website and see it unless he's done deleted it. The same George Zinn, unless there's multiple George Zinns in the world, could be. But this same Phil Lyman caught on camera during the chaos, laughing after the fact, saying he didn't say anything, and now George Zinn publicly endorsing his run for governor. Coincidence? Maybe, but in a clean investigation, coincidences are examined, not ignored. So we ask, why the same George Zinn seen or heard at the scene claiming to be the shooter? Why hasn't law enforcement addressed this connection? Because the optics right now, political campaign endorsement crossing over with an open assassination, look like theater. It looks like theater. It's odd. It's odd. You think you tie that junk up before you know what I mean? You tie these loose ends, dog. Now, Kash Patel said, when questioned about conspiracy theories, well, let's let him hear it. Let's hear it.
Conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts, and we delivered in record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective to Luigi Mangione or the Boston bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running out absolutely every single lead, and the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Okay.
I just don't know if I can take much more Kash Patel. He said the suspect was apprehended in 33 hours, but local reports stated that Tyler Robinson turned himself in because of the retired sheriff neighbor. And apparently his own parents said they didn't believe it, but his sheriff neighbor said that he fit the description. That's not capture. That's a surrender. Those are different stories. So which is it, man? Either the Bureau wants credit for speed or they're rewriting the narrative after a public surrender. Pick one. And he also said that he doesn't look at conspiracy theories and he looks at facts. Well, the fact of the matter is that the facts don't point to Tyler Robinson. They don't. We never seen this guy with a firearm. We haven't seen the real firearm. This is an old picture, apparently, from Getty Images from 5 years before. So that's not even the rifle. We've not even seen the rifle. But it works with the narrative. And speaking of narratives, I showed the video the other day of the kid being interviewed by Phil Lyman. I also showed the guy that asked the last question to Charlie Kirk before the assassination. I showed how he was practicing imitating the afraid look or shocked look by grabbing his head, right? That guy. Then I showed the other guy being interviewed by Phil Lyman's assistant or whoever that lady is with Phil Lyman. And they're going 3, 2, 1, roll. Well, check this out. They're oddly on 60 Minutes together, these two gentlemen. That's the video of him getting the interview with the Phil Lyman staffer. And this is him doing his shock reaction after the fact. And them two are sitting together. Weird, right? Weird. I don't know what more I can say. Now, if we roll into the ceremony at the White House, Trump awarded the Medal of Freedom posthumously to Charlie Kirk. Erica Kirk accepts. This time she's in black. She's not in white like she was at the memorial with the firework show, pyrotechnic display, reminiscent of a Michael Jackson concert. Here, black. She's dabbing her eyes quite a bit. Let's watch it.
Surprisingly enough, he did pray for his enemies, which is very hard, but he did. He did. He did. No one else, I mean, I saw him do it. No, he never did it in front of anyone else, but I can attest to that. But he also loved people when it was inconvenient. And he ran his race with endurance, and he kept the faith.
People online saying she's wiping dry tears. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. She cracks a lighthearted joke mid-speech. Look, man, everyone grieves differently, but when the emotional presentation flips that fast, it feels curated, stage managed. Even Trump's own comment, Charlie loved his enemies, came off like he was questioning the script himself. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because the next thing, while the investigation is still open, Erica Kirk and Vice President J.D. Vance are announcing their university tour on October 29th. Think about the timing. Not even a little over a full month since the event. And it's branded, scheduled, promoted through Turning Point USA. Okay. Let me play the clip.
Going to be joining Erica Kirk on our campus tour. This is going to be a big one, at Ole Miss. If you could throw the graphic up there, guys, 179. Throw the graphic up. There it is. So Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance and at Ole Miss, and correct me if I'm wrong. Will's going to get mad at me here. That's October 29th, I believe, at Ole Miss, Oxford, Mississippi. And we also, the other pictures you see on that graphic are going to be Benny Johnson, Lara Trump, Eric Trump. They're going to be at Auburn on November 5th, so the 1-year anniversary of the big win. But you guys are going to be in Ole Miss together. Yep. And it's going to be Erica's only appearance on the tour. I mean, we really, we thought about suggesting to her to do more, and it's just, she needs time. She still needs time.
She does.
But
she doesn't need much time. She's doing a campus tour October 29th.
She wanted to make it a priority to be at this one, and you're making it a priority to be at this one. There's going to be like 9.
Dude, most people, and look, I'm not trying to be insensitive, man. I've lived a life of adversity, extreme adversity. I feel like I'm a very tough guy, and I've lost people I've cared about. And I don't know, maybe she's just a lot tougher than I am. But it's hard to say, man. I mean, most people will still be in private grief, man, but we've got PR posters, talking points, and ticket links, right? It looked like the show must go on even if the story doesn't line up. Okay. Now, meanwhile, blue checks are posting online, circulating, saying no autopsy release. I haven't seen it. I've heard people talk about it, so I think there is one. People are saying there's no public death certificate. I haven't seen one. Maybe there is one. A ballistic report. Maybe there is one. I haven't seen one. No eyewitness real testimony on record. And look, if any of that is wrong, it's easy fix, man. Release the paperwork, redact names, keep the integrity and the speculation, right? But they won't, because instead they tell you no conspiracy here, man. Tyler Robinson did it. He laid out completely his whole schedule of what he did. Now that has actually came out to be probably inadmissible. It was apparently, even Cash Patel said that they can't even use it. They don't even know if it's real. We said that day one. We said that day one, that soliloquy of information he gave didn't make sense. But even Cash Patel said that they don't even know if it's real. Right? But again, if any of this, if we want to go the narrative, fine, then prove it. Prove it to us, man. There are too many of us asking questions. And look, I understand a lot of people are like, why even keep talking about this and these sort of things, man? But it's the same thing about Epstein. You know, I get upset when people say, why are you still talking about Epstein? Or why are you still talking about Stephen Paddock? Or why? Because things don't add up. And I don't like when things don't add up, man. I'm not cool. I'm unsettled. I don't really trust anything I'm told anymore by anybody in power. I feel like it's all to either control me, manipulate me, make me comply, one of those things. And I feel like this is another one of those situations. I never met Charlie Kirk. I don't know him. I didn't really view his content that often. It was pop up sometimes in my feed. Thought he was an intelligent guy. He was a follower of Christ. And the fact is, apparently he was a much bigger deal than I knew even. He was very, very well known, very famous guy, and had a lot of supporters. But I think it's a disservice to him with all these questions. It just doesn't make sense. I would have to have a lot of faith to believe that Tyler Robinson actually did this. I would just have to blindly believe the narrative, and I just don't. I don't at all. But you know, it's kind of like, especially with this administration, man, I see a lot of things I just don't like. I don't like. You know, while all this is going on, Trump said today that $20 billion is heading to Argentina. Right?
America first. And is this rescue package
the guy immediately said, is this America first? Because it ain't.
Package America first. And is this rescue package meant to help President Milei's party in the coming election?
No, it's really meant to help a good financial philosophy where Argentina can, after 20 years of disaster, because it was very successful at one.
I'm not really caring about other people right now, man. Americans are struggling to pay the mortgage. They're struggling to eat. Gas went up over here, man. I don't know where you are, but it went up today. I went and filled my truck up. It was up today.
Point, and it can be again, like Venezuela. Venezuela was very, very successful, and now it's a dictatorship. So when we can help our neighbors, you know, we're making tremendous progress in South America. South America, Marco was telling me, he's like our great expert here. He really.
South America ain't my problem.
You were telling me that so many of the countries are coming our way, and we had a few years ago when I just came back. So I've been here now almost 9 months. But when I just came in, I was amazed to see how poorly we've done. We lost so many, and one of them was Argentina. Would be lost if he wasn't there. And I think he will be there because the people recognize he's done an amazing job. He took over a real mess. So did I.
9 months, and man, that $20 billion is an addition, if you didn't know, to another $20 billion that was already pledged earlier this year. $40 billion in total. I'm not kidding. The justification is economic stabilization and countering China's influence. Translation, we're borrowing money from our own collapsing economy to bail out another government halfway around the planet. Not to mention the billions of dollars the gazillions of dollars we spent to Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan. And I just really, man, I voted for Americans to get taken care of. Okay. I really did. I believed it. I believed that this would be the time, man, especially after getting indicted multiple times, after getting shot in the ear and all these things. You would think, man, this would be a guy on fire for the American people. But we keep giving money overseas. When is it going to come home? Americans are struggling. I talk to you guys all the time. I get emails all the time. You guys are struggling. You're pissed off. You're upset, right? And this came about right when that medal was given. So the headlines would be buried underneath. Those international aid packages will be buried underneath Charlie Kirk's Freedom Medal. That's what the news feed filled up yesterday, and they always do this sort of thing. You're not supposed to notice the pattern here. Now, I always like to give tradecraft, when information clashes and the ground itself gets repaid before the dust settles, a prepared citizen doesn't fill the gaps with fantasy. He demands process, okay? So what I'm telling you right now is preserve, document, maybe request, do some FOIA requests, archive every clip before it violates community guidelines and they take it off YouTube or any platform you're using, because once the footage vanishes, so does the truth. Okay, that's Tradecraft 101. Keep the receipts. So this video, all these videos you got, keep it, download it, keep it, right? And if any of you were there, if you filmed any raw, unedited footage, send it. If you witness firsthand events, on or off camera, I'll protect your identity. And if you're law enforcement tied to this case and want to set the record straight, I'll protect your identity. Was it a 33-hour manhunt or voluntary surrender? Silence creates suspicion. Transparency kills that. And someone explained to me what kind of 40 chest requires Birkenstocks in a badge. Or $40 billion aid packages going to Argentina. Most Americans can't even find that on the map. And the bottom line, guys, is I'm never going to tell you what to think. I'm only showing you where they hope you'll scroll past, because right now, no cemetery's been named. Find a grave also lists gravesite unknown. The footage doesn't add up, and the timelines don't align. And the money keeps flowing overseas. We don't live in a conspiracy. We live in something called a cover story. Stay frosty, stay dangerous, and keep your eyes open. Black Scout, out.